afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price, the only show that asks the question that matters. Are these movies worth the ticket price? In other words, are they worth your time and money? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Jake, host and voice of the show. With me as always, co-host extraordinaire, and the only man who has been kicked out of every doctor's office, urgent care clinic, and emergency room in the Tri-County area for giving his height in WCSs. Tevis at Master Control. Tevis, how are you, sir?
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't count that as a measuring tool. But I also don't like it when you come prepared.
Oh, I'm glad you said prepared. That pregnated pause really concerned me.
I went to the doctor and I already had the thermometer where they normally take your temperature.
And they're just like, hey, thermometer tail.
They didn't like that at all.
I preemptively brought a stool sample. I have this throat issue.
I have a headache.
Here you go.
You need a sperm sample? I have one in my car.
Let me just wring this out.
You'll have to wring it out of the underwear, but it's still viable. This is the dumbest intro we've ever done.
Good night, everyone. Oh.
Okay.
Well, I'm done. Thank you. WCSs, if you're new to the show, being White Castle sliders.
Yes.
Oh. All right. Welcome to episode 77. Tevis, what are we doing today?
Oh, not much. Just kind of hanging out, you know.
Every time I try to pass you the ball.
Bounce pass. Just pass. Oh, we are looking at a film today about some movie that we had to watch.
All these words are correct.
For the show.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing.
But what specific film did we watch for this show?
I don't remember.
What do your notes say?
White Castle sliders. No, it's
no, your notes, not your shopping list, not your grocery list.
The note I have here says the Birdcage.
The Birdcage. Based on the play and French movie La Cage aux Folles.
Is that really it?
What?
Is that the name of the...
Is it the name? Yes.
Okay.
Am I pronouncing it correctly? Not a chance.
Okay. That's the other question I was going to ask.
Not a chance.
Okay. Because I would not have even attempted to say the name.
Yeah, but I could have looked it up, and I almost did. But then I thought, if you speak French, being that you either are French or you decided to learn French,
You're not.
These people tend to be obnoxiously pretentious, and they recoil with revulsion at mispronounced French words. So I thought I'd have some fun.
Okay.
Instead, La Cage aux Folles.
Okay. La Cage of the Bird. Okay. Got you.
Basically.
Yeah. I like that.
Released in 1996.
So freaking long ago.
That's true, but I kind of thought this movie was older than that even.
Did you really?
Yeah. I thought early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Like 90, 91. Maybe even 89. But it doesn't matter because it's 96. Okay. Written by.
Uh-oh.
This was a pain in the balls to sort through.
Why?
If you look it up, the American version of Birdcage has 6 or 7 listed people as writers. So let me break it down as best I can. The original play was written by Jean Perret. The French movie, written by Francis Weber and Edward Molinaro. They all three get credit. The screenplay predominantly is by Elaine May.
Okay.
And that is who I've gone with. Because if you look it up, you will find a slew of names. Because it's like this person contributed, and that person contributed, and these people over here contributed.
Damn. Yeah, there is a lot.
So if 3 writers are a red flag, what are 9?
Well, you can't really count 3 of them.
Right. Because Jean Perret, that was the playwright. Francis and Edward, those were the French film. So I'm going with the American writer is Elaine May. So we have one true official American writer for this film.
It sounds good to me.
Oh, Jesus.
Ew. She wrote Ishtar.
You know, that sounds familiar, but now I can't place it.
Warren Beatty, Dustin Hoffman.
Hold on. An opinion is coming to me that it's like I'm having a memory of an opinion and it's not pleasant.
The opinion is not pleasant,
Correct.
or the feeling of this is not pleasant?
Both.
Okay.
Wait a minute. The only thing I can for sure remember about Ishtar is that pretty much everyone thinks it's crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's been so long since I watched it, so I really can't say one way or the other.
Maybe it's in the hat. I don't know.
I will quit.
Well, I didn't put it in the hat, Tevis, because I forgot it existed. So I'm telling you, with my words, I did not put Ishtar in the hat. Just like I didn't put The Fast and the Furious.
Damn it, Sarah.
Nor did I put Black Adam.
Damn it. I didn't even know Sarah knew what Ishtar was. And how did he get in the hat?
Oh my God, if we pull Ishtar, I will poop my pants. Live on air. All right.
And then we'll have to save it for my next doctor visit. So,
oh, do you need someone to supply you samples because you're not clean?
Absolutely.
You got to pass that drug test. All right. Directed by Mike Nichols, starring Robin Williams, Nathan Lane, and Gene Mother Effin' Hackman, boys.
Hell yeah.
With a budget made with an estimated $31 million. And a worldwide gross of $185 million. So it did good here. Awards. 7 yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. 7 award wins with 25 additional nominations, including an Oscar nomination for Best Art Direction Set Decoration.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I can definitely see that.
Oh, yeah. The Birdcage itself, the apartment, both stages of it.
Yeah.
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 We'll get more into it, but the sets and the costuming in this film are on point.
Fabulous.
A group of people worked really hard and had a lot of fun with this, and you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just
they were having
all
a
the
blast.
right ways. Don't add, just subtract.
Who put the Playboys in the bathroom?
That's what they read. What is that, Moosehead?
Oh, God. Ow, hurts my chest. Oh, my.
Don't. I feel like I should say that to you and Sarah when you guys are giving comments. Don't add.
When she does zing.
Don't add, just subtract. Okay. So, Tevis, what is your history with The Birdcage?
I watched this probably 96, 97, not long after it was released on home video. I really had no desire to watch it, but I remember I was in my room. I lived with my parents at the time still. And my dad was watching it in the other room. And I have never heard him laugh so much in my entire life, before or after.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked in, I'm like, what are you laughing at? He's like, this movie, my God, it's so funny.
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, and I look, and it's the Omaha Beach scene. I'm like, he's like, watch this guy get shot in the face. Oh, okay, cool. That's
Look at
hilarious.
that guy look for his arm. Ah!
Stupid ass. But it really surprised me that he was enjoying this movie. Or for one, it surprised me that he even wanted to watch this movie because he was very much anti gay, lesbian,
Yeah.
any of that. Like he kind of lost his shit when Ellen came out. You remember that?
I mean, but I don't actually remember anything about it because I don't care.
She had a TV show.
I know
at
who
one
Ellen
point.
is, and I know her show. Thank you.
But no, at one point she was straight on the show,
Oh.
apparently. But then came out.
Well, wait, was she straight on the show, or was it just never talked about, so people assumed?
I think there was a few moments where she had boyfriends or whatever.
Oh, sure.
But then through the course of the show, she's like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm coming out as who I am. Yeah, he refused to watch that show ever again. So I was kind of surprised that he was enjoying this movie.
Wait, do you think that's why everyone bailed out on the Rosie O'Donnell show?
No, it's just because she was terrible.
You mean no one wanted to watch an hour talk show hosted by Rosie O'Donnell?
No, absolutely not. So after my dad finished watching the movie, I was like, I'll watch this. I'm going to sit down and watch this. Holy shit, man. I was crying. But then I didn't watch it again for 10 years, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't watched it until we pulled it out of the hat for probably 8 or 9 years. And I've probably only seen this movie 5 times on a whole. So, yeah, it was nice when we pulled it out of the hat. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to revisit this. What is your history, sir?
So watching it for the show is probably I think the third time I've seen it. The first time probably would have been 96, 7, 8 home video. My parents were watching it. They were laughing. Everybody, was enjoying this movie. I remember watching it and laughing. I revisited it 17 when I was 17, 18, 19 with a couple of buddies, and we enjoyed it. We were laughing and having a good time. And then for some reason I just never went back to it. I just kind of forgot about it.
Same.
And then we pulled it from the hat. I'm like, oh yeah. So I was like, yeah, okay. Be curious to see, especially a movie with this kind of subject matter, how it holds up or stands up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because these can be, especially the older films,
You can get icky,
a little
uncomfortable for everyone.
Yeah.
They not all of them age well, like a fine milk.
Oh, this milk is from 1898. Top me off, good sir.
You never know sometimes, right? So when we pulled it, I was excited to go back to it, but that was something I had in the back of my head
Me
of just,
too.
okay.
Me too. And we will definitely bring that up a few times.
Yes. Okay, so movie opens, and we're at the Birdcage nightclub.
Yes.
And it's a drag club.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay. Oh, can I not say drag club?
Oh, no.
I think that's okay terminology.
Yeah, that's okay terminology.
Oh, okay.
That's not what I'm talking about.
RuPaul says we can say drag queen.
Her show was called The Drag Race.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's so. I forgot about this.
So
my dad one day was looking on the movie guide, and he came across drag racing or drag race. He's like, "Oh, I like racing." Click. Nope. I'm like, oh my god, that's so funny.
So, hold on. May I?
Yes.
It has nothing. It kind of has. My grandfather and I before he passed, he was really into genealogy and looking up the family history.
Yeah.
And so he and I, got into that. Before he passed, he gave my wife and I a wooden trunk that he got from maybe his aunt or an older relative. And when he gave it to me, it still had the insignia of the craftsman on it.
Oh, really?
So I was able to look it up, and before he passed, he and I got to talk about that, which was really cool. And not that anyone cares about this wooden trunk, but as we learned, our family had bought it from an actual handcraft furniture maker in St. Louis. And their shop opened up in like 1885, something like that. Like, this goes back quite a ways.
That's cool.
And they bought it brand new from this furniture maker. I forget, I'd have to go back to my notes and for like what year they purchased it or when we think they purchased it and when it was made. But it's just kind of been handed down in the family. So yeah, Anna and I have it in our bedroom and we've got this, 100-year-old trunk.
That's cool.
Handcrafted in St. Louis.
Hell yeah.
Man, was it the Goldsmith Furniture? Something to that effect. I'd have to look into it. But with this interest, he learned that somewhere along the line, the family ancestry had the last name Dykes. Like John Dyke or, something like that.
Sure.
And so he was looking it up. But grandfather, not being the most internet literate man, somehow just kind of vaguely types in the word Dykes. Okay, so you know how your father found Drag Race and was like, nope. My grandfather found Dykes and went, well, wait a minute. Perhaps some further study is needed strictly for research purposes, Tevis.
You must do the research.
Strictly for research purposes.
Very important. Research without pants. It's very important.
I laughed so hard as he regaled us with that tale because he just had like the most nonchalant face, and that's not what I was expecting to pull up, but it's Pop, what are you doing?
It's weird how they had so many children.
Well, no, your story of your dad running Drag Race just reminded me of when Pop found Dykes on the internet.
Yeah, that's impressive because those are really hard to find on the internet.
He was looking up his ancestry. Which honestly to me makes it funnier.
I don't remember when you type in ancestry in the search bar, Pornhub coming up. That one's new to me.
Well, obviously you haven't done the research, Tevis.
As soon as this show's over.
We're going to look into our ancestry. Hold on. Wait,
I have some Dykes in my family history too. It's a whole page of them.
Wait, somewhere along the ancestry's big titty babysitters, something. A lot of hyphens.
Oh,
it must be German.
Jesus Christ. Oh. My God.
So, somewhere in there. This is interesting. It says here they go by the last name of Bukake.
Don't watch to the end.
Research purposes. What are we talking about? You interrupted the intro of this movie for some reason.
Okay, so when I started watching this, I was getting ready to eat dinner. So I made my stuff and I sat down and I just kind of nonchalantly pushed play and was just letting it go through the credits because you have the opening credits and you have that fly over the ocean and then it gets to the nightclub and then it goes into the nightclub.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. So I rewound it. That's a oneer.
Oh, okay. You know what? I didn't even notice that.
I was like, did they just do a complete oneer here? So that's why I rewound it and watched it. And holy shit, yeah, it is.
What is it, just like a big crane?
It's a helicopter shot.
Yeah.
It's a oneer, but it's not a oneer.
Okay.
But they do 3 different ways. Shot 1 is a helicopter that's going over the Atlantic. Shot 2 begins on a crane where it's simulating that copter, that helicopter. And then shot 3, where they're going into it, is a Steadicam.
Okay.
And it's completely seamless.
With their hidden cuts.
With their hidden cuts. And it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's
it's
cool.
A fantastic shot. And yeah, that's my favorite shot of the entire movie.
So you have nothing else to talk about.
That's all I have.
Okay.
I'm done. I'm done talking. You are hosting this show by yourself.
This shot was all you needed.
You can turn it off after this. No, I'm just kidding.
But man, the birdcage is jumping.
Yes, it is.
And it looks great.
Looks like South Beach. So colorful.
Full of life.
Vibrant.
That's the thing, though. It's colors and it's music and it's just this upbeat atmosphere. And we go into the Birdcage, the most happening drag show in South Beach. And everybody's singing, I believe it's We Are Family.
We Are Family.
And there enters Robin Williams playing Armand Goldman.
Armand Goldman. That's a hell of a name. I like that name.
Army Goldman.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And he's making the rounds. He's schmoozing with customers. He's checking on the act. He's checking in the kitchen where we see one of the cooks picking up an entree off the floor and plating it. And he's just like, ugh, don't do that.
I love that he's asking about the Kennedys.
He's like, sir, they're here. Who? The Kennedys. Ted? No, just the younger one. Damn it, I wish we could get Ted.
Yeah, you know why? Because he was a heavy drinker.
Oh.
So they're like, yeah, run that bar tab up.
Yeah, that's the joke they were going for.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not going to lie. I don't think drinking was the joke.
Maybe not.
As long as nobody gets in a car with old Ted.
And I like, he says, should we comp their meal? And Armand's like, give him free coffee.
A round of coffee. Which he even walks by their table. He's like, hey, save room for coffee, because he knows they're going to overdrink.
That's funny.
Yeah, I got my notes. Wish we could get that. So they're getting ready. However, the next act isn't there. Where is Starina? And then we learn that Starina has refused to go on. She's having one of her fits, and Armin's like, damn it, god damn it. So he runs upstairs, and that's when we meet Nathan Lane.
So good.
As Albert, aka Starina.
Yeah, she's a bit of a drama queen.
Yes.
Just a tad.
And oh man. Now I'm blanking on his name. Who's playing Agadore?
Oh, Hank Azaria?
Hank Azaria.
Agadore Spartacus?
Not yet. Agadore Spartacus! Damn it, this movie has so many quotable lines. We're just not there yet. But Albert refuses to go on. He's not in makeup, costume, wig, nothing. Life is ruined. His relationship with Armand is over. He's dying. He's like, what are you talking about?
Did you catch when Albert is going on this poor me rant? Armand is mouthing the exact words that he says, because he's like, you do this all the time. He just knows it by heart.
I have yo-yoed my voice from a size 10, from a 16 to a 10, back to a 16, and you haven't acknowledged any of it. I'm just an old, fat, short, washed up thing. I made you short?
I love I love the fact that he does that thing where he just mouths exactly what she says instead of telling her, you do this all the time. You know what? No, him doing that, we already know. We know. That's and her freaking rant, man. It's so funny.
I made you short. I'm gonna say that I already told my wife because she watched this with her. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be using that from now on.
I love these two, their relationship together, their chemistry together.
So do I. It's so good.
It is.
But what set Albert off? So actually, now I'm trying to think because I'm not trying to be a jerk. I honestly can't remember. Particularly Albert, her pronouns fluctuate throughout the movie.
Okay.
He answers to both throughout this movie.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to, because I noticed I said him, you've said her.
Yes.
We are not trying to, how do I put this? There's no statement being made here.
No.
There's no, it's just, if you're a person who is adamant about your pronouns, Albert answers and goes by both.
He does. She does. Yes.
Yes. They never go they, though.
No, they don't, do they?
No.
Okay.
Anywho, that's the thing, though. It's like, man, watching this, you gotta like, I feel like this is just some of the stuff we have to touch on.
I agree. Yeah.
So, Albert had found white wine chilling
right.
in the fridge.
That's right.
So she's getting in Armin's face, you bastard. What are you doing when I'm slaving away on stage? Because you and I only drink red. And he's like, you're insane. Bless you.
Excuse me.
So Armin tells Agadore to go get one of the other formers. Tell her to get ready. She'll go on in place of Starina. What? You can't send so-and-so? What is this? He's like, we gotta do something? Look, the crowd is out there to see Starina. You've got a packed house there to see you. And half of them are Kennedys.
This is the when Agadore saves the day with the Pirin tablets.
So Albert can't go on, and she's like, I can't. Please, I need my pills. I need my Purin tablets. So Agadore gives Nathan's character some pills called Purin, and Albert takes them and begins getting ready. I like the just Starina's what they want, and Starina's what they get. He turns on the electric razor and starts shaving his face.
That thing is so ridiculous. That is so big and loud.
You could shear sheep with that
Sounds
thing.
like he's mowing the yard.
Which is insane because his face does not have a single piece of stubble on it.
And he shaves his chest too.
You're shaving your chest now? I didn't have time. But when Armin and Agadore leave, so Albert can get ready. Are you insane? What are you doing giving her drugs? What the hell's the matter with you? What is Pirin anyway? It's aspirin with the A and the S scraped off. God, you're a genius. I know.
Agadore. I love Agadore. He is so funny. He is great.
So Starina makes it on and begins doing the show. While she's away, Armin goes back upstairs to their apartment, where he gets the wine ready and kicks Agadore out. Then a young man comes. And they hug and they kiss and they begin talking, and Armin's pouring drinks. And you're going, oh, wait a minute. What is this?
I didn't like this.
this swerve or this
Yeah, this.
misdirection.
Why not just tell Albert, no, our son's going to be here. He has something important to tell me, or we have something important to talk about.
So
That would have, I mean, I wouldn't have made Albert so jealous. I feel like this was just kind of manufactured drama.
I agree, but if let's try to look into it more than just that.
Okay.
Val specific. So we learn that the young man's name is Val, and that he is Armin and Albert's son. Val, when he called Armin prior to the movie to set up this get together, specifically asked Armin to not tell Albert.
Oh, did he really?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Because he knows how Albert's going to react at the news. So he wants to talk to Armin first so they together can try to go at this.
But
so
still, you could just say,
yeah.
Val's going to be here. That's why the white wine is for.
Yeah.
It seemed unnecessary.
I still agree with you, yes. Well, and we'll get into it. I'm going to say this now. No, this isn't unnecessary. Fucking Val is unnecessary. But we'll get into him as we go through it.
Yeah.
If there was anyone I wanted to dangle off a balcony by their ankles, it's Val. I wanted to punch him in the face.
So when I first watched this movie back when I was younger, I always thought Gene Hackman's character was the villain.
I did too.
And then rewatching it now that I'm older, it's fucking Val.
It's Val.
Val is the villain of this movie.
If you had to point out an antagonist, it's Val.
Absolutely.
We're not there yet. Although I do like, so the reveal, son and father, Armin and Val are talking. He's like, you look good. You look great. I do. Oh, I feel bloated. Well, you look great. Do you have any beer? I most certainly do not. Talk about bloat. Since when do you drink beer? Robin Williams, we're going to talk about him for just a second. He has so many great lines, like talk about bloat. It's so simple. But what sells it is his delivery of them.
Oh, yeah.
Robin Williams, I don't think this is I don't think I'm wrong here. I don't think I'm misstating anything. Robin Williams is very similar actor or acting style to, say, a Jim Carrey. It is typically very loud and very over the top and very out there.
Absolutely.
But with Armand Goldman, he's playing it very low key.
He's the straight man
in the comedy duo.
In their comedy duo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
I hate to say the straight man when in this aspect, but
that's what it. Yeah. You've got the over the top one, and you got the straight man, and he's playing it straight while playing it gay, but he's playing it.
He's the gay straight man.
Yes.
Yeah.
That actually is grammatically that is correct. Yeah. But just he's so not Mork from Ork.
No,
he's so not a lot of his earlier work where he's so over the top. Even say like Mrs. Doubtfire is a louder character, which I love that movie, by the way. But
oh, I do too.
But he's not going talk about bloat. No, it's I most certainly do not. He's just playing it very turned down, and lets Nathan Lane play it turned up, and it works so perfectly. Especially Nathan Lane, given he as his Broadway experience, his live theater expertise, like he's used to projecting to the back row, right? He has such a natural gift and talent to be the loud, the flashy, the big gestures, the big facial expressions.
Yeah, he does this. He does it a few times here in this, but not The only one I can really think of off the top of my head is when he's doing the Marsha Graham.
Yes.
Doing the training these dancers and telling them what they can do and what they can't do.
But yeah, and we'll get to that scene.
But it's very low key. It's
a
lot like the Good Will Hunting character that he played.
Yes.
The Sean something. I can't remember.
The professor.
Yeah,
doctor.
The doctor.
Yeah.
I almost said proctologist, but that's not the psychologist.
Yes.
Totally different.
You do not want those careers to intersect. You ever watch
Arrested glove when you tell me about your mom?
You ever watch Arrested Development?
It's been a long time.
No, you don't understand. I'm the first ever analyst and therapist. And on his card, it says analrapist. 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 Because that can't be misconstrued. Man, speaking of underrated shows, Arrested Development was fire. Anywho.
So, originally, Steve Martin was cast to play Armand.
Well, I hate that, but I just don't like Steve Martin.
And Robin Williams was to play Albert.
Oh, so Williams has always been part of the project.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Steve Williams.
Not Steve Williams.
No. Steve Martin had to bow out because he was starring in Sergeant Bilko. It's terrible. It's terrible.
You know what? Sometimes fate weaves a tapestry to make sure the right thing happens.
Absolutely.
Because this movie is Robin Williams and Nathan Lane.
Oh, yeah. Without Nathan Lane.
And their chemistry together.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But when Steve Martin bowed out, Robin Williams was like, you know what? I really don't want to play Albert. I want to play Armand because I had just gotten done doing Mrs. Doubtfire. So it's like I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then Nathan Lane was brought in. So
perfect. So Val, we learn that Val is 20. He's in college and he's getting married. He has proposed. And I wrote this down because I went, Val's a villain. So throughout the dialogue, we learn that Val is 20. And then later in the movie, we learn that the bride-to-be is not yet 18. In other words, she is 17. Meaning that a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old, air quote, met at college and have started dating and are now getting married. And I went,
yeah. And they had been having sex for over a year because that's what Clarissa Flockhart told her parents.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yes. You didn't catch that?
No.
Yeah, because remember, the mom's like, oh, God, has he been tested? And
I remember that line.
And she's like, yes, Mom, and so have I. And that's when Diane Weiss, who is fantastic as the mom, but that's when she seems more appalled that her daughter got tested than the boy got tested. But yeah, she says, we've been having sex for over a year. So
okay, so I brought this up, and my wife goes, "Well, in some states, 17 is legal. It's cool. You know what isn't though? Wait, let me check. I'm pretty sure in approximately 0 of our 50 great states is 16 okay?
Yeah, and you met at college?
Yeah, air quote college.
College party?
And at a law college.
Party? Okay.
Val's an antagonist.
Yeah. Yeah.
But obviously Armand is against this. What are you talking about? You're 20. You're not getting married. He's having none of it. And they have their back and forth, and Armand tries to play it tough. Well, then you're on your own. We don't support this decision. Not going to support you or her. He's like, okay. Val's like, okay, I'll just leave. It's like, oh, you son of a bitch, you called my bluff. Yeah, but it was really good though.
I like Armin's relationship with his son. I don't like Val's relationship with his parents.
Yes. No, I think what you mean is you don't like Val.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like anything about Val.
Okay.
He has. Let me count. 1, 2, no, 0 redeeming qualities.
Well, we're not there yet. So you're gonna have to help me out a lot.
Okay.
Because I do not have as many notes as I typically do / should, because I got really engrossed in just watching the Birdcage.
Well, shit.
So Albert finishes, she comes upstairs, sees Armin sitting by the pool smoking and white wine. He's, you bastard, I knew it. He's like, it's Val. Val came over. I got the wine for Val. He's in his room sleeping if you don't believe me. And Albert goes and says, there's Val asleep in his bed. He comes, he's like, Armin, why didn't you tell me? And that's when Armin drops the line. He asked me not to. He asked if there was something he wanted to talk to me about. And when you were on stage, it's the only time that it worked.
Yeah, and Albert he does this maternal thing when he goes into the room. He straightens up some stuff and he tussles his hair and
pulls the blanket up.
Yeah, it does. He's a very maternal person.
Albert loves her son.
Yes.
And it comes off so genuine,
it does.
too.
It does.
Well, I'm very maternal. Albert's basically a breast.
I don't know if I could say that there's one specific quote from this movie that I love more than the others. There are so many good ones.
Well, it's racially tinged, and so there's one that's racially tinged that my wife and I both went, that's Tevis's favorite. But we'll get there.
I think I might know.
So Agadore is asking Armin, so it's the next day. Agadore's asking Armin, why can't I be in the show? Let me audition again. Is it because I'm Guatemalan? Is it because you're afraid of my natural heat? It's like, no, it's
my Guatemalanness.
Your what?
My Guatemalanness. My natural heat. That's my favorite right there. My Guatemalanness.
Armin's just reading the paper. You're what? Because he puts up with this shit every day. You're what?
I don't know if I like that one from
my Guatemalanness.
My Guatemalanness. Or when he's singing that she works hard for the money. No, so hard for the honey. When he's dancing around in the fucking
well, when he's cleaning the pool in just a thong. Also, how have I never realized what amazing shape Hank Azaria was in his day?
Holy shit, yes. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, this is the guy from The Simpsons. Didn't he voice The Simpsons?
And Spinal Tap, right?
Who'd he voice in The Simpsons?
Like 15 people.
Like the main one. Was it Mo? I don't know.
I'd have to look at it. But no, a bunch, a whole... he might have been Burns and Smithers. So, among a multitude of others, I can't remember.
Well, when I was researching this,
I'm ruined. Just go on, leave me. We're not the Marines. Leave me. Carry on, brother. Reach to the finish line.
My Guatemalanness. My natural heat.
Your what?
This is probably one of my favorite things I've found out about researching this. Oh my God. Sorry. While they were filming The Birdcage, Hank Azaria and his good friend Billy Bob Thornton was working on Sling Blade.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, so both of them used to work together on their voices back and forth.
Mm.
So while they're practicing their characters' voices, they'd go driving around and pretending that Agadore and Carl Childers were in a buddy cop film together. So they would just be driving around doing their accents and talking about being a buddy cop movie. I'm like, oh my God, I want that movie. I fucking want that movie.
Where are their home recordings of these sessions?
Holy shit. That would be so awesome.
Pure gold. Pure. And here's the thing. Both of these guys are still alive.
Absolutely.
We need to get them together.
We're going to start
on the show.
We're going to start a Kickstarter. GoFundMe. We're making this movie.
We need to bring Hank Azaria and Billy Bob Thornton into the studio and bring this to life. Absolutely. Oh, man. So then I believe at this point we jump to, oh, I'm sorry. Agadore's Guatemalaness threw me off. Val comes downstairs. Albert comes in first. And I think he mean, why, what is with you, Armin? Why such a bad mood? Why didn't you tell me about Valentine? He's like, he's getting married. That's ridiculous. If you don't want to tell me, don't tell. No, he's getting married. You heard me. What? He's just a baby. And Albert's not for it. And she starts freaking out. In walks Val. He's like, oh, I guess you told him. Because I think Val uses male pronouns for both of them.
Yeah.
Although I think Albert, when referring to herself, predominantly uses female pronouns. But answers to both.
Correct.
Yes. And what does Albert say? Valley, baby, you're just a baby. I don't want you to throw your life and your future away for some dorm room slut or some college tramp. What does he say?
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
He's like, I see you told him. But then we meet the fiancé and her family.
Yeah, the ultra conservative Republican Senator, Mr. Kevin Keeley.
So,
co-founder of a conservative group called the Coalition of Moral Order,
which he co-founded with Senator Jackson. So the fiance, I give you $20. Barbara, thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't finish my statement.
Let me send you my Venmo.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass it on to the podcast mom because I'm too old to know what that is. So Barbara, yeah, that's when she has a conversation with her mom about being tested. Apparently she's been screwing a grown-ass man since she was 16. But more importantly, because let's face it, Barbara is not important to this movie.
No, she's...
Her father, the very Republican Ohio senator, well, news has broke that his Coalition of Moral Order partner and co-founder, Senator Jackson, has died. And died...
I love that he's sitting there with his wife watching TV of Keeley and Jackson on this show.
Yeah.
And they're just arguing. And it's loud and nobody can get a word in because they're all talking over each other. And he's like, tells his wife, he's like, oh yeah, this is the most intelligent show on television right now, or something to that effect. And I'm like, yeah. But yeah, then he gets a phone call.
He's watching essentially some sort of political roundtable show where all the participants are just yelling at each other and it's all just noise. And he's just like, yes, I think Jackson and I made some very good points here. That's definitely the most intelligent show on air right now.
That's right, yeah.
But he gets a phone call. Jackson has been found dead in the bed of a black underage prostitute.
I love that it just gets worse.
Because, he's like, what? Jackson's dead? What do you mean where was he? In the bed of a prostitute? An underage prostitute? She was black? It just keeps trickling out detailed a little bit here.
So much disrespect from Kevin Keeley because he doesn't say prostitute.
No, he doesn't.
He's specifically is like, oh, my partner, my co-founder for the Coalition of Moral Order was found dead in the bed of a underage black whore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn, just slap the hell out of this poor girl. Like,
Which we do actually see the poor girl on the news later on.
were you talking about where he left the money?
Well, no, not yet. That because that came later. It was well, he would looking kind of funny, but he was smiling, so I figured everything was okay.
Yeah.
So I figured it was okay. He was looking kind of funny, but he was smiling, so
Yeah, I love how it just snowballs and gets worse and worse and worse for Mr. Keeley.
so now the media shows up outside the Keeley house and they have got to get out of there and lay low for a while. Now, Val's parents, Armin and Albert, totally against this wedding. Barbara's parents, Senator and Mrs. Keeley, totally against this marriage.
Until.
But they had even refused to get together and see them for dinner and do all that. But now with this media storm, they've got to leave anyway. Where can they lay low? Oh, we'll go to South Beach.
Well, Louise, I think is her name.
That sounds right.
She Kevin Keeley's going crazy about what had just happened with his co-founder, and
Yeah.
he's like, oh my God, it's an election year and
I'm ruined.
you know, I'm done for. They don't care about, you know, well, you weren't a part of it. Well, they don't care about that. They just know I'm associated with this. And
Headlines.
so she's the one that brings up, well, why don't we have this wedding? You know, white wedding it's great for morality, and it brings, you know, it's hope, it's a new beginning. So they're totally against it until it benefits them.
Yeah. Like a political couple would be.
Absolutely. But as I was watching this too, so Armand always has to calm Albert down over every little thing. Louise has to do the same thing with Kevin all the time.
Louise, where's my candy? I need my candy. He stress eats candy.
So Albert and Kevin are basically the same person.
Yes.
And I love that.
Which comes up later.
Yes.
Oh, so it's like Palm Beach. Or no, South Beach. Is that anywhere near Palm Beach? And Barbara's like, well, not exactly. It's where Jeb Bush is,
Yeah,
Florida. It's near the bushes.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's nice.
Jeb Bush. Who names their kid Jeb?
I don't know.
That's such
It's
a
not
terrible name.
It's got to be a long-standing family name.
Jeb. No, I don't like it.
So you're saying you're not going to name your son Jeb?
Jeb. No.
Wasn't there? Wait. No, I'm thinking of Jed from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, that one's fine. Jed.
You're fine with Jed, not Jeb.
Not Jeb. Jeb.
Yeah, because God forbid someone has a stupid name. Tevis.
I know, right?
Nothing worse than these assholes and their stupid names, right? Tevis.
Get a real name, you jackass.
All you got to do is go to the courthouse and get him to turn the B around. You absolute idiot.
How hard is that? God.
So the Keeleys get on the road for South Beach and they end up getting tailed by a reporter from the National Enquirer.
How relevant were they back then? My God.
Man, I feel like that was a name I used to hear all the time. And now?
I know it's still a thing because I see it every once in a while at the registers, but just, I don't know. I think I was more mesmerized by it, you know, the alien bat baby or whatever that was born.
From what was the Weekly World News?
Yeah.
So they're on the road. They're headed to South Beach. Now, it's been confirmed they're on their way. We're back to Val. And in my notes, he is asking a lot. Like a lot of Armin and Albert. Is he not? He's asking a lot.
He's asking way too much. He's basically saying, don't be anything like you normally are.
Well, no. first, well, okay, yes, to Armand, yes. He's asking Armand, well, it's Senator Keeley, who? The co-founder for the Coalition of Moral Order. That's a thing? Like, Armin has no idea.
Yeah.
He's like me, and I appreciate that. We don't keep up with current political whatever because we don't care. And I appreciate that. But Val essentially asks him to change the entire apartment, redecorate it all the way down, top to bottom, front to back, so it appears less gay. And then, yes, to your point, asks Armin to be completely different, to dress different, to act different, to speak different, to walk different.
Yeah. Don't gesture too much.
Yeah. Now,
And it gets worse.
this movie, in my opinion, probably maybe a little too frequently uses the FA slur,
Oh, yeah.
but it's never derogatory.
Mhm.
It's always a gay character referring to themselves in that fashion,
Correct.
which I guess makes it better, but also don't know if it does.
The one time I can remember Robin Williams' character saying it is because Val is trying to convince Armand that you need to change everything about you because of the senator.
The scene we're talking about, yeah.
And he is basically throwing that word at his son, saying, I am comfortable with who I am. I can take any bullshit that the senator wants to throw at me because he knows he's saying, I know
he's like, I'm a 50-year-old
yeah,
FAG. It took me 20 years to figure out who I am, but I'm not changing myself for some senator.
Fuck him. Yeah. Fuck that senator.
Agreed.
That's what he says. I mean, that's what Armin says.
Yeah. Fuck that senator, which agreed. But again, the senator isn't asking this of him.
Exactly.
It's Val.
Exactly. So
I
think that's kind of why he says it the way he says it.
Yeah.
So Val knows.
He's purposely using a very venomous word.
Absolutely.
But then he's like, but Val continues. So Armin has to make all these changes to the apartment and to himself. And then they also need to get rid of Albert. Albert cannot even be home for this. Albert cannot meet the future in-laws. Albert cannot meet who would be her future daughter-in-law in this important, first family meeting. Val wants Albert gone. I'm just going, what in the hell?
You mean this person that raised you, who's cared for you your entire life,
who loves you unconditionally,
who is your mother, that you don't know your biological mother.
Right, because we learn. So biologically, Val is Armin's son, and I forget his mom's name. Catherine Archer?
I think you're right.
That sounds right. Because they had a fling. Catherine got pregnant, was freaking out because she was so young and wasn't ready, and it was going to ruin her career, and didn't have a man in her life because there was a fling. And Armin basically, talked with her and worked it out that she will have the child essentially sign over her rights, and Armin will take care of Armin
for some money. I don't remember how much money they said.
Yeah, but I think the money was just a good gesture of goodwill to help Catherine. It wasn't like a you owe me.
Oh no, I don't think so.
No, I think Armin was just trying to be a nice guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so Catherine freaked out, and instead of having an abortion or anything like that, Armin kind of convinced her to have the child, and I'll take care of it. And the child's born, and Catherine gives Val away. And who takes him from the beginning, open arms, unconditionally? Armin and Albert. Fuck Val.
Yeah.
God, I hate this guy.
Between the way he treats Albert, and I don't ever remember him ever even towards the end, like treating Albert the way Albert should be treated. Like he just,
Well, we'll get there.
but I think this is the part where, isn't this where because he even says it, Armand in his speech says, yeah, I wear foundation. But Val, like, hey, we need to change some things and also how your appearance. And he's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And he runs his fingers across his face and then wipes it on the wall.
Yeah.
And is like, look, this, you can't have this.
Yeah.
And that's when Armand's like, just had that wall sponge painted.
We just had the wall sponge painted, Val.
Like
which was funny.
Yeah, it was funny, but I was like, what a dick.
Yeah.
You wipe this on the wall? Like,
you couldn't just show it on your face. Now, granted, though, for the comedic purposes.
For the comedic purposes, yeah. But it just adds that extra layer of fuck Val.
Yeah. So the news breaks to Albert. She freaks out. Understandably so. Val hates her. Doesn't want her around. Armin's helping him, so Armin hates her. This whole thing. And runs off. Armin gives chase. And again, also, I have a distinct feeling that this is probably not the first time Armin has chased Albert down the street.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not.
But Albert, they devise a plan. Albert is a great performer. Armin's a great director. He can play it straight.
Absolutely. And
so Albert can be Uncle Albert. And Armin proceeds to give him man lessons.
The toast scene is so damn funny.
So Albert,
real men smear.
It's the toast. Fuck the toast. Men don't care if we pierce the toast. There's more. We just get more and we smear. Yeah, men smear. We smear. We don't go to pieces because we pierce the toast.
Put your pinky down.
Put your pinky down when you're drinking.
That scream. Nathan Lane. The screams that he does. Oh my God. It is so great. So goddamn funny.
Damn it.
And
goddamn pinky down.
I said I don't think I can think of my favorite part of this whole movie.
Oh you've said this so many times.
I know, but I honestly, this is probably my favorite part.
The man lessons?
Is the John Wayne walk.
Oh, right. Let's work on your walk. What's wrong with my walk? Does the walk? Okay. Not like that. I got it. It's a cliche, but work with me. John Wayne. Who is more of a man than John Wayne? And you're a big fan. You know it. Walk like John Wayne walks. So Nathan Lane proceeds to do this John Wayne-esque sachet. Walks. Another person at the little
lady at the
table looks at him. Ma'am. Walks back. And Robin Williams just has this look on his face. What, no good? No, it was perfect. I just never realized John Wayne walked like that.
So great. Such a great joke. Such a great delivery from both of them. He nails that walk. Holy shit.
The walk is perfect.
It's perfect.
What, no good? No, it was perfect. I just never realized John Wayne walked like that before.
Great.
So the man lessons are not going as we would hope, or as they would hope. Robin Williams takes it too far. Armand takes it too far and ends up getting into a fight with another patron at the diner or wherever they are.
Giant man.
That guy has got to be 6'8".
With the nicest sounding voice.
Yeah.
He's such a nice guy. He's like, are you calling me an asshole?
What if I am, asshole?
He stands up and he's like 2 heads taller than both of them.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I was talking to the asshole behind you. Well, Armin, you you stood up for yourself so proudly and you look so dignified, unlike that big gorilla who looked ridiculous sitting on your chest, pounding your head into the floor.
Oh, we were talking about how Albert responds to both the male and the female words, pronouns. Thank you. And there was a quote I was trying to find, and I finally found it, where Albert and Armand are talking, and Albert says, "Don't give me that tone." He's like, "What tone?" It was that sarcastic, contemptuous tone that means you know everything because you're a man and I know nothing because I'm a woman. And Armand's like, "But you're not a woman."
You bastard. You bastards.
So funny. Oh. Sorry. Proceed, sir.
Baba proceeds. So Armin is trying to keep Armin is trying to keep Albert out of the apartment because Val and the Birdcage crew are remodeling. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Albert walks in, sees all the changes, and learns the truth about Val's plan.
We've been robbed. Don't worry. Everything will be returned before you get back.
Get back? Where am I going?
Fucking Val.
So Val's freaking out more. So Albert justifiably is heartbroken, storms off. And Val's like, you know what? I'm just going to cancel. We can't pull this off. Without a woman in the house to distract, we can't pull this off. And Armin gets the idea, well, what if we get your mother involved? My mother? I've never seen my mother. Well, I know, but I can call her. And do you think she would do it? I don't know. It's been 20 years, maybe. So Armin calls Catherine, and he and Albert go to get her and ask if she'll do it. But Albert is forced to. Okay, in this moment, I'm not really sure why Albert is brought.
Honestly, I don't remember.
They were just in the car together going to ask Catherine this favor. So at the moment, the plan is still kind of, Mom, Dad, and Uncle Al. But
that's what the situation is still supposed to be.
They get to the Catherine's office, and then Albert is forced to wait in the waiting room like an asshole.
Yeah.
And then Armin and Catherine have this, reconnection, because she was really up on him when they met back in the day. They were young and in love. And oh my gosh, look at all this hair. It's so masculine. I love it. Where did all this hair come from? It's like, well, for the show, I had shaved to look younger. Oh no, he should have had it,
There ain't no way in hell he shaved all of that.
Robin Williams was one of the hairiest men alive.
No. They would
Mediterranean heritage.
They would literally have to have someone shaving him and then going back and reshaving him because it would grow back. It's like when they paint the Golden Gate Bridge. They start at one end and they paint it all the way back, and then they go back and they start over.
Yeah.
Because, that's exactly what would happen here. It's like a chia pet.
Yeah. So, but Albert walks into them to Armin and Catherine, like dancing and reconnecting, and doesn't take it well, and he leaves again. Now, okay, I love Albert, I do. She storms off way too fucking much. It gets old because I'm just like, and here comes the storm off. Like a couple of times is fine, but now it's just knee-jerk reaction. Albert has one mode, and it's hysterically storming off.
She overreacts, but I don't think she's wrong.
No, but I just It played on my nerves after a while.
I can get that. Yeah. But
I lost the part where it was endearing or funny, and then I just began to feel Armin's frustration. And I don't know if that's a good thing for your audience to feel in this comedy.
I understand that.
So they get back to the house where um Albert has Agadore get her toothbrush because that's all she's gonna need where she's going, and basically talks about how she's gonna go to the cemetery where she has a plot purchased and is going to kill herself, and then storms out. And Val's just freaking out about his own bullshit, and Armin is just like, "Do you see what's happening? Do you see what you're causing with this?"
Yeah, but he doesn't care.
That's the thing. Val doesn't care.
No, because he even like snaps at Agadore.
Yeah.
So he takes the bottle from him and just kind of yells at him like an asshole. He doesn't really yell at him, but he talks to him like he's like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I'm like, these people are going out of their way to help you.
Oh,
with
above
this
and beyond.
ridiculous, borderline offensive request. And you are treating these people like they're inconveniencing you?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But this is the moment we get with Armand and Albert on the bench.
At the bus stop.
This was fantastic.
So Armin chases Albert down, who's waiting at a bus stop to go to whatever cemetery. And yeah, this heart to heart is fantastic.
It's so good.
It's the chemistry on screen is off the charts.
And it's Robin Williams can do some serious fucking acting.
Yeah. Like Robin Williams was an actor.
Yes.
He started out early in his career, like many do, and there's nothing wrong with it. You got to get your foot in the door, being Mork, right? Mork
Absolutely.
from Mork and Mindy, that kind of just loud, nonsensical man-child kind of thing. But then he got some clout in the industry and wanted to branch out and really do other things, stretch his wings and prove that he has acting chops. And that's when you get the Dead Poet Society, the Good Will Hunting, the Birdcage.
Yeah, he is fantastic. And Nathan Lane is too, but them two together sitting there chit-chatting, and it's kind of like it's almost a proposal,
kind of,
because of what they do with the paperwork. And
so throughout the movie, in Albert's different moments of hysteria, repeatedly asks Armin, well, if we are partners, if you do love me, if we're in this for the long haul, I want palimony papers. And he's like, I got them. I can always tell when you're lying, Armin. Well, they're at this bus stop, and he's like, Las Casas or wherever, that cemetery is a shithole. And now I've got to sell my plot at the nice one to buy one next to you in the shithole so we can still be together.
Because you make me laugh.
Yeah.
And I don't want to miss any laughter.
And he's like, here, well, what's all this? The fuck do you think it is? It's a palimony you wanted. Read it. It's all there. I've signed everything. It just needs your signature. And and Albert's looking at it, and she's like, well, this says I own half of everything you have. You own half of everything I have. He goes, yeah, like you asked for. Well, what about the club? What about the club? Fuck the club. When we go home, who gives a shit if it's under my name or your name or who owns it? It's only home because you're there. Half of mine, half of your. It doesn't matter. And I'm just like, oh, my heart is melting.
Absolutely.
As just this scene is so good.
And this scene coming from this movie, from this time period, 96.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Coming from a French film, I think from like the 70s.
Yeah. And the play, it was because it was based off of a play,
Yeah.
and then it was turned into a movie. And we've watched a few movies.
Right, yeah, maybe the play is from I can't remember. Something's from the 70s.
Yeah, one of them, but the play came first.
Right.
But we've watched a couple of movies that were based off of plays.
Oscar.
Clue.
Oh, Clue wasn't based off a play.
Or no, not Clue. Sorry. Goddamn, what was the other one?
Hell are you talking about?
I don't remember. But anyway, this doesn't feel like a play like the other one. Like Oscar felt like a play.
It felt like a play bad.
Yeah.
It was shot like a play.
It was shot like, and Clue was shot like a play.
Yeah.
But this one, it mainly takes place in one house.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't feel like a play.
No.
And I love that about it.
Because this movie has cinematography.
Yes. Absolutely.
And that goes a long way. So they're just like, screw the Keeleys and screw Val, and we're going to do this our way together. And they go home. Now, I believe this is where they hear the Keeley. We get back to the Keeleys. They're in the car. They're just about there, but they hear a Senator Jackson update on the radio. And come to find out, the young lady's name who he was with was Nadambundra. And Senator Jackson's last words were, "Your money's on the dresser, chocolate."
Oh, God. Yes.
To which Anna and I both went, there's Tevis's favorite line in the movie. "Your money's on the dresser, chocolate." And then Senator Keeley goes, "Oh, God, now the blacks are going to start in on us."
Oh, my God. Yeah, I forgot about that phrase. That's my favorite phrase in the entire movie.
"Your money's on the dresser, chocolate." Oh, my God. So now the Keeleys finally get there.
Well, they're still going with this idea that Albert is going to play the straight uncle.
Right.
And Armand and Val are in the bedroom talking. And in comes Albert dressed in that suit.
It looks very nice.
The way this movie does this, he comes in, he looks outstanding, but he still looks wrong. It's not
wrong.
It's not Albert.
Right, but it's also not Nathan Lane.
No.
You're not looking at Nathan Lane in a suit. You're looking at Albert, and it's not right.
It's not right.
There's something uncanny about it.
Yes.
And because they're looking, Val and Armin are looking at Albert, and she even asks them, "No good? Not right? Not right, no good, something."
Yeah, but I love, he reminds me of Lex Luthor, or Lex Luger, rather.
The wrestler.
The wrestler.
Okay.
Luger looks good.
Yeah.
But when he starts to move and he starts to wrestle, it's not good.
Could you come up with a more niche example that one person listening is going to understand?
Probably not. Or Big Papa Pump. He looks good, but once he starts to wrestle, it's not right.
No, Scott Steiner as Big Papa Pump doesn't look good.
He looks bumpy in all the wrong ways.
He took on the moniker of Freakzilla because he took every steroid he could find and injected it like Bane.
Yeah.
And grew to 3 times normal human proponents.
Yeah, he can't hardly move his arms because he's ridiculous.
He can't touch his back.
But Nathan Lane looks outstanding dressed in this suit.
Yes.
But when he starts to move, he's very aware of every movement.
Yes.
And you can tell he does some hard ass acting here. It's
I was just about to say, it's almost like Nathan Lane is an actor.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? I was going to bring this up. Nathan Lane, underrated?
Oh, 100%.
Nathan Lane's on our underrated list.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Officially.
Yes.
Yes.
You
know what? We've been saying it for a while that Ethan Hawke is number 1 on our underrated list. It might be Nathan Lane at number 1.
Yeah. Because when he comes in there and he sits down and he can't figure out where to put his arms or how to cross his arms or
Yeah.
how to cross his legs properly, and he's very aware that he's trying to be masculine, but it's just not working.
But then he's in his own head. He's also probably aware that he's trying too hard,
Yes.
but doesn't know how to fix it.
And it's so good.
But it's also not, when you're watching it, though, this sounds very over-the-top comedic slapstick. It's really
not.
subtle.
It is. It's very subtle. And that makes it that much better.
Nathan Lane is our most underrated actor, right?
Of what we've talked about so far, yeah.
Yeah.
And you said Ethan Hawke?
Yeah.
When did we talk about Ethan Hawke?
When we've talked about Ethan Hawke.
I don't ever remember Ethan Hawke coming up in conversation and being underrated. What were we talking about when Ethan Hawke comes in?
We've been doing this show for over a year. I don't know.
We weren't talking about Training Day. That's the only Ethan Hawke movie I can think of off the top of my head.
He was in the remake of The Magnificent Seven, because we were talking about that. He plays the old Confederate sniper.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And then we talked about Black Phone.
That's right. Okay. I'm an idiot. Proceed.
We knew that. Do you recall one specific conversation that we had some point in time in the last however long?
Tell me episode number and minute timestamp.
All right, listeners, get out there just to cram it down Tevis's throat.
At 26 minutes and 16 seconds.
Oh.
Mel Gibson's butt. I know.
Hold on. No, I have to go back in my notes for that timestamp. I've forgotten. So it doesn't work. And
another thing about this too, Albert looks at Armand and Val and is like, it's not working, is it? And you guys hate me. And Val just sits there.
He just sits there looking
at Albert. He doesn't say anything. Like, you know what? No, it's not working. But you know what? Thank you for trying.
Anything.
I love you. Thank you for trying. We have to come up with a different plan.
Yeah.
No, he just stares and gives him this look like he's the worst person in the room. And I fucking hate Val.
I'm not going to lie. I'm sure if we really broke it down movie by movie, episode by episode, we could find a character I hate more than Val. But he's definitely up there on my list.
Oh, absolutely.
I hate Val.
Absolutely.
If there's someone I could throw out in front of moving traffic, it's Val.
Yeah. Use him to stop that runaway bus and Speed.
Hey, your money's on the dresser, chocolate. Actually, in my notes, Val is such a dick.
Yes.
So, the Keeleys come. They made it. And Val and Armin greet them. Oh, I love your home. You know, Barbara said it was a vacation home, but it doesn't feel like a vacation home. It feels just so much more like a monastery. And it's not Armin Goldman, it's Armand Coleman.
Yeah, because you don't want them to be gay or Jewish.
Yeah. So he's the attaché to Greece, whatever the fuck that means. Oh my God, that's what they come up with as Armand's job, but no one knows what it means or what it is.
Yeah, because I'm like, I have no idea what any of that is.
The attaché of... No, I don't know.
Yeah.
So they're talking and it's fine. And then Val's mom joins the conversation. But it's definitely not Catherine.
She comes in dressed like Betty White. I loved it so much. Because Catherine was stuck in traffic.
Yeah, Catherine was stuck in traffic. What's George W's wife's name? Barbara Bush. He does. Nathan Lane.
Yeah.
Albert comes in like a cross of Betty White and Barbara Bush.
Absolutely.
He was playing to his audience who he knew were uber conservative.
I was getting ready to say he knows his audience.
Now, they begin talking. you mentioned how essentially Senator Keeley, Kevin Keeley, and Albert are the same character. Well, wouldn't you know who is just hitting it off splendidly? So much so that Louise gets jealous.
Okay, so Albert was the problem, air quote,
Air
the
quote.
problem for the
Well,
longest time.
Right. I was going to say one of, but probably the
Yeah.
biggest. Yeah.
And then when the Keeleys show up, he's locked in his bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this conversation about, well, is it Coleman or Goldman? And they keep kind of fumbling it up and fucking it up.
Yeah.
Armand and Val do. But then when Albert shows up, the Keeleys are still kind of, they smell something fishy.
Yeah.
Something's not quite right. When Barbara Bush shows up, when Albert comes in the room, he's like, oh, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was stuck in traffic, blah, 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 blah. And then he says, okay, well, we were having this conversation. Keeley says, we're having this conversation. We're trying to figure it out. Is it Goldman or Coleman? And she goes on this rant about, well, when we're in, Greece where Armand works, it's pronounced this. And when we're here, it's it's the vulgar Coldman or whatever. Yeah. And when we're here, it's Goldman. It's the golden of Isles of Man or whatever.
Yeah. So honestly, we travel so much. It's hard to say where we are until we hear someone pronounce our name.
And he fixes all of it.
Yeah. I don't know if the Keeleys totally buy it, but it's enough.
It's enough. And he saves this moment. So Albert went from being the problem to being the savior.
And also, so the conversation's going on. Kevin Keeley is just enamored with Albert, which I loved. That was so funny.
Because he's playing to his audience. He knows what they want to see in the dress.
But I think personality, the conversation, that's all Albert.
Oh yeah, and because he's basically talking the same type of shit that Senator Keeley wants to hear when he's talking about, well, we can't kill the abortion doctors; they're just doing their jobs.
Yeah.
If we should kill anybody, it should be the mothers.
Now I know what you're gonna say. Killing the mother kills the fetus, but the fetus is going to be aborted anyway. Let it go down with the ship.
And then that's what Kevin Keeley. Oh no, it was the Jackson thing, because the Keeleys were everything was really awkward. Albert and Armand and Val were thinking that it was awkward because they were on to them, but the Keeleys were like, oh no, they know about Jackson.
They're judging us.
Yeah. And then that's when Kevin says something to Albert about Jackson. He says, and Albert says, oh, I don't believe any of that.
It's also so vague. They have no idea.
No idea.
So he's just trying to give some kind of vague answer to like answer it without answering it,
Yeah. He says, oh, I don't believe any of that. I believe it was a conspiracy. I want to see the autopsy.
It's just what Rush Limbaugh said. So funny.
Great.
Also, I have to touch on this. So I believe this is pre-Albert joining. But when they asked the Keeleys how their visit was, Gene Hackman gives a short monologue that is pure gold.
The drive down.
I love driving down to the different regions of the country and watching the seasons change, seeing the white snow, and then you into the purple mountains and the foliage, red leaves, the yellow. When you really think about it, the purple mountains, the red foliage, and the fields, green, and then the road, black, through the green, just. And Virginia truly has lovely foliage. Although, if I say, I believe Ohio has truly underrated foliage. And then you get into Pennsylvania, and it just cuts to Robin Williams' face, which is just stone-faced, but his eyes are just in agony.
It goes on for so long.
Gene Hackman kills it, man.
It goes from being funny to being kind of cringy back to funny. Oh,
because you're just wanting it to stop.
And Val says something. He goes, "Oh, I was so mesmerized by your story. I almost didn't hear the phone ringing or something like that effect."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Man, that's a true politician right there.
Yeah.
He talks and talks and talks and doesn't say a single word."
So eventually, though, like any good outrageous comedy, Catherine shows up and the jig is up, and
Before you go there,
okay,
they sit down for dinner
foliage.
and they break out
Leaves.
the bowls.
Agadore has set the table. Oh,
Your
look at
dinner is served.
my name is Spartacus.
Love the shoes. Because
Agadore, put
Val
some shoes on. Ah, you see, sir, there is no need for me to put on the shoes because they make me fall down.
And then he goes to answer the door and falls on his ass. It's like, it's the shoes.
I cannot walk in these shoes.
But they break out the fine china.
Agadore Spartacus. Agadore Spartacus. He prefers to go by his full name.
They break out the fine china for the soup that Agadore's making.
Yes.
And is it Louise, I think, says, he's like, "Oh, what interesting bowls. What's on this? What's the decoration?" It looks like young
boys playing leapfrog.
And that's when Armand runs into the kitchen and just grabs the bowl or the soup.
Pot of soup.
And comes in and starts ladling it in really quick before they can see it. But there's a moment when Val's in the kitchen with Armand and Agadore.
Yeah. She didn't make an entree. Sweet and sour peasant soup is an entree. That's why you think I put so much in it.
But the part where Robin Williams falls down?
Yeah.
He actually, in this take, he legitimately slips and falls, but stays in character.
See, though, I noticed it because you can tell. So Val and Agadore are keeping it together. We're just going to get through this fucking nightmare night. And then he slips and falls. Just keep it together. Slips. God damn it. Keep it together. Because Robin Williams is cussing at them to keep it together. But if you look at his face and listen to his voice, he almost breaks.
He almost breaks.
Just God damn it. Keep it together.
And Agadore's sitting there with this shrimp in his hand. And he goes to throw him in the soup.
The shrimp. Fuck the shrimp.
Oh, but yeah, but that's so funny when he falls and he's so desperate to keep it together.
Yeah, because he didn't want to do the take again.
Yeah, that's so great. But yeah, so the mother shows up and destroys everything.
So it's out, except now all the journalists and the reporters have followed the Keeleys to the Birdcage. And they got to get the Keeleys out. And ultimately, they sneak the Keeleys out through the nightclub. So they get Louise all dolled up, and she looks totally different, and Barbara's looks like a flapper. And then out comes B. Arthur.
So good.
Gene Hackman in drag is the best.
He looks so different. Like,
he really does.
It could have been so easy just to put a wig on him and a little bit of makeup and be like, we're fine. But honestly, I was worried about this because I remember the how it goes.
Yeah.
This is what happens. But I kept thinking, I'm like, they're going to know it's him. I mean, you can tell Gene Hackman's face.
I mean, now realistic, especially all those reporters and everything, we have to suspend disbelief a little bit.
But honestly, he looks very, very different.
Yeah.
And it's so good. I love how he's dancing through and he's like, no, you just stay with me. Nobody's dancing with me, so you got to stay with me.
Nobody's dancing. Don't make me dance alone. Yeah, don't make me dance alone.
escorting him out through the club, dancing with him. It's so good. Playing We Are Family.
Yeah. So, and Gene Hackman looks so great. He's so uncomfortable and awkward.
Yes.
Trying to dance. He's like, we are family.
Doesn't know the words to the song.
We are family. So they get the Keeleys out. Now, also, before they get the Keeleys out, this is when Catherine gets there, the jig is up, and I'm so confused. Val, who is your mother? And they take Albert's wig off.
Because she's been getting
She is-
drunk.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
They keep
starting to-
they keep trying to get the wine bottle away from her.
Starting to slide. The wig is starting to slide.
So funny, but it's like, no, this is my mother. And it's supposed to be this heartwarming, redeeming family moment. But it didn't work for me.
Me either.
Because I'm like, fuck you, Val. This is too little too late.
And plus, he's been...
You don't get to have... Val does not get this moment. He doesn't deserve it.
Correct. Yeah, I was going to say, he's been such a jerk to both of them. Not just Albert.
Yeah.
But... And not just Albert and Armand. Everybody.
To everyone.
Every single person that's been trying to help.
Douchebag.
And the only thing I kept thinking of, okay, yeah, he's young, he's immature, but still, no. You trying to redeem yourself by coming forward to the Keeleys, it didn't work.
No.
Maybe if you would have said, yes, this is my mother. It's the only mother I've ever known. It's the only mother I ever want. I love you. Thank you. Something other than it's never.
Can I disagree with you?
I mean, you can.
Hear me out.
Okay.
At this moment, because his speech is fine. The moment is fine. The way to save this or to make it real and for everyone to buy it and not just want to kick Val in the face has nothing to do with this moment. It's if Val had been anything other than absolute quat.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout the whole rest of the movie.
I get that.
If he had been like, dads, mom, dad, whatever. Mom, dad. Met this girl. Proposed. Here's the thing. I want her to meet you guys. Her family's coming with her in-law thing. They're is there something we can do? And then he wasn't so aggressively against everything his parents are, right? If he had been more working with them instead of just barking at them about they need to be different, they need to look different, they need to act different because they're going to embarrass him and blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
If it had been more, well, Valley, I don't know. Well, we could try this. Okay, yeah, let's try that. And he was more cooperative, then the moment, exactly as it's currently written, would have still worked and it would have been fine. You can't change the scene and redeem Val. He's done too much.
Yeah, it's almost at the very beginning, he's already ashamed of Albert because he doesn't want to tell Albert because he knows how Albert gets.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, kind of right off the bat, he's already disregarding Albert as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want you, Dad, by yourself so that I can tell you. And I think you're right. If he would have said, I want to talk to both of you, sit you both down, shown Albert some respect as
and love and
something.
Yes.
But he never, ever does.
No, he treats Albert like shit the whole movie.
The whole movie.
At least with Armin, Val shows love and respect to Armin.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not enough, but he still does.
Yeah.
He gives Albert nothing. Yeah. Nothing. And the whole movie, you can just feel the warmth of Albert's love for Val radiate from the screen. It's so genuine. Nathan Lane's performance is so fantastic, and Val just reciprocates zero. And it's infuriating.
And the moment when Albert is dressed in that suit and he sits down and he gets that look from both Armand and Val, he says something to the effect of, I know I look ridiculous or I act ridiculous. He goes, but I so wanted to help you and you hate me for it.
Yes. And Val never contradicts her.
He never says a word.
I don't hate you. I could never hate you.
This was he should have had a moment anywhere.
Well, no, he should have had many moments strewn throughout the entire movie with both parents, so he doesn't come off like a complete asshole for this unbelievably awful request. Instead, he just barks orders and dictates things, and it's too much.
Yeah.
So Val sucks. Now, the Keeleys get out, and we during the credits, we actually get to see a bit of the wedding, which is a co-opted wedding of half. They do the Jewish and Christian ceremony at the same time, and then one side is all of the bride's side, and one side is all of the groom's side, and those are very different people. I do love though the one of the drag queens from the show looks over and goes, "That Bob Dole is so cute." I don't know why, but that made me laugh.
It's so wrong, too, because Bob Dole, it's never been cute.
I also want to point out, I don't think we mentioned, there were a few moments they're like, well, when Louise was like, imagine a wedding, white gown, family values, blah, blah, blah. We can spin this and make it work and save you, talking to Kevin. Well, who do we get to officiate? The Pope? No, too controversial. What about Billy Graham? No, too liberal. Billy Graham is too liberal.
Oh, my God.
And you know what? Okay, I think we're there.
Yeah.
I think we're there. Mostly because my wife is watching Sick Children by herself and keeps texting me, "Are you almost done?"
Whoops.
I think I'm going to be beaten when I get home. Maybe I'll just stay.
We'll make dinner.
So, all right.
I have a nice soup recipe.
Sweet and sour peasant
I have
soup.
to go get some shrimp.
Well, those Guatemalans. Yeah, they put eggs in everything. They say they say a woman is a woman is worth her weight in hens, and a man is measured by the size of his cock. That's something I would say. Like, I heard it when I said it. Moving on.
So fun.
All right. Ratings for the Birdcage, IMDb 7.2. No. Rotten Tomatoes 84% for a total of 156.
Okay.
Closer.
Yes.
I think I'm at like an 88, if I'm being honest. Now, finding fun reviews with fun, meaningful snippets I can steal was so difficult. Apparently, everyone watched the most colorful and outrageous movie of '96 and had nothing fun to say about it.
Seriously?
So from the New York Times, an American remake with plenty of new pizzazz.
Ooh. That's dull.
New York Times, nothing. LA Times, nothing. Guardian, nothing. Chicago, nothing. Nothing. Fine dick all of nothing. So that's what I went with, because it's what I could find, Tevis. Ebert. The Birdcage isn't about plot anyways. It's about character and about the twisted logic of screwball comedy in which everybody acts the craziest when they're trying to make the most sense. 3 stars.
3 stars?
3 stars.
Damn, look at him.
I agree with that too, if I'm being honest. So, Tevis, unless you want me to go first. What?
Well, go ahead.
Okay. My final thoughts on the Birdcage. Like I mentioned, I had seen it a couple of times before, was a little nervous going into it with 2025 eyes. That being said, though, kept an open mind, watched it, and I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. It was fun. The acting is top notch. The writing is predominantly on fire. Nathan Lane and Robin Williams have so much talent and so much chemistry. And I'm not going to lie, they might be my favorite on screen couple we've ever had on the show.
Damn.
I love these two together. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think so.
Is there any on screen couples that come to mind that are better than these two, that you feel for more than these two, that you fall more in love with than these two? I don't know. I love Armin and Albert. Love them. Val's the worst. Gene Hackman as Senator Keeley. Do you know how hard it is to act that dull?
No,
You just are that
I just
dull.
am.
He kills it. And you know what's funny? For this movie being what it is, in my experience, the people I talk to and whatever, you know who love it the most?
The Republicans.
The Republicans and the religious. Because they're able to, and they laugh the hardest at Gene Hackman. They laugh the hardest at the parody of themselves. So, to give Republicans any amount of credit, the ones who can watch the Birdcage and genuinely laugh at Gene Hackman's Senator Keeley, that's how you know this is okay. If you can't laugh at the parody of yourself, you're probably just insufferable. So if you're unsure, this is the right-wing test. Can they laugh at the Birdcage and enjoy this movie? If they just freak out at the face of it, maybe write those people off and move on with your life. No big loss.
They freak out when they hear the word Jewish. It's like the Winter Soldier and his phrase to get him all hyped up to assassinate people.
Jewish?
No? Yeah, Jewish. Rail car.
I was going to say...
Yellow.
Stop! Oh, stop! 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 You cannot
I didn't mean it that way.
You cannot say Jewish rail car! You absolute animal! Stop it!
I didn't mean that.
Shut up! Stop talking! You cannot... What sort of Freudian slip was that? That's your word association? That's what came to your mind? What the hell is the matter with you?
I believe I'm an idiot.
Oh my God! Getting back on topic, the Birdcage is worth the ticket price. There's a lot to love here. And if you've never seen it, please give it a chance so that Robin Williams and Nathan Lane can get the attention that they deserve, especially Nathan Lane because he's so underrated. And tell me you don't fall in love with these two, because I know I did. I guess I'll pass the mic back to Tevis. Although I really don't want to. So, Tevis, what non-train related opinions do you have about the Birdcage?
This movie was fine. It was just fine. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm reading from my script that I had typed out earlier, so...
Wait, I didn't proof it.
Okay. Birdcage.
Jewish rail car.
Jewish rail car.
Jesus Christ.
That is one of the words. The rail car thing is one of the words that triggers
There were 14 words. You could have come up with any. You could have said anything.
Anyway, the Birdcage. This movie is fantastic. You nailed it when you said, like, The cast was great. The acting is great. Val sucks.
He is the worst part of this.
He is the worst part of probably the movies that we've done in the last 2 months. He is the worst. He's worse than Hans Gruber.
Yeah, but that implies Hans Gruber was bad. Hans Gruber was amazing.
He was amazing, but he was a bad person.
So's Val.
Val's worse.
At least Hans Gruber has charisma.
Exactly. No, what was the rating on Rotten Tomato? 82?
84.
84. I would go 88, 89.
Yeah.
This movie. I was worried about it going into it because of some of the characters,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't feel like that they've aged fine. I think there's I can't think of anything that when I watched it I was like, ugh, ick.
See, that's what I was waiting for too.
I honestly was super scared that I was going to see something and that was going to make me not like the movie or not want to watch it or just watch it this one time and be like, okay, I'm done. But no, I'll watch this movie again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Lane is, without him, I don't think the movie works quite as well. But between him and Hank Azaria, man, these two just kill it. And Gene Hackman is great in everything he's ever been in. Diane Weiss is so good. Barbara was there.
Shelley Duvall.
Yeah. Well, did she even show up at the house? I don't even remember. But no, this movie is definitely worth the ticket price. Check it out. It's great. I love this movie.
All right. There we have it. Hat time.
It's your turn.
My turn? All right. Look in the hat. Okay, I got one. I don't know what this is. I've never heard of this.
Okay.
Ishtar?
Damn it, Sarah.
Damn it, Sarah. No, I'm kidding. Talk to Me? I don't know what this is. Is it a rom-com?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what this is. I've never heard of this.
You've never heard of Talk to Me?
How many times do I have to say I don't know what this is?
So if you've never heard of Talk to Me?
No.
Okay. It is a horror, supernatural horror.
It's not October. Fuck you. You can't make me watch horror movies.
You pulled it out of the hat. I didn't do shit.
I didn't put it in the hat.
I didn't either.
Damn it, Sarah.
It's from 2022.
So newer. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like horror movies. If they're good, I get sweaty and nervous.
Well, break out the towels? I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that remains to be seen because you've said that before, and I don't think I've
ever said break out the towels. That's not a phrase I would normally use.
Selfish lover. I'm just saying that so far we have been on a bit of a... There have not been many winners in the horror genre, but that also might just be true for the horror genre.
That could be the possibility, yeah. We shall see.
Okay. So 2022, you said?
2022.
Horror movie, Talk to Me.
I believe it's Australian.
Oh, it's got a bunch of Bruces in it.
Yeah. So you might want to watch it with subtitles because they talk fast.
I'll watch a bunch of Bluey first.
There you go.
Get my Australian up. Have a beer.
Terrible.
Fist fight a kangaroo. Enjoy the singing of the cockatoos.
I want to give out an award. It's the Charlie Sheen. Worst accent award.
How dare you? How I am offended.
If you do that again, I'm going to close my eyes. Do it again.
Hugh.
Holy shit! You sound like Paul Hogan.
Hugh Jackman.
No.
Crikey.
There it is.
That's not a knife.
Paul Hogan right there.
This is a knife. God. I'm not going to pay taxes. Get pissed when they don't make a third.
Didn't they make a third?
Did they? I thought it was only 2.
I think they did. How you got me curious.
Oh, God, no one cares about Crocodile Dundee.
There was a third.
Oh, no.
Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles.
I thought that was the second one.
No. The second one was Crocodile Dundee 2.
Scriptive.
Yeah. It's spot on. There's a son of Crocodile Dundee.
As Tevis gets lost in the Crocodile Dundee rabbit hole. All right, everyone.
As we all do at one point in our life.
You did not live through the 90s if you didn't get stuck in a Crocodile Dundee rabbit
It was
hole.
the 80s. Thank you very much.
What's it?
Yeah, Crocodile Dundee came out in 86.
Okay.
And then number 2 came out in 88.
Ah. Whatever. I finish up here.
You brought it up. You're the one that brought up Crocodile Dundee.
No, I did an Australian accent for this weird movie we're going to watch. God, is it going to be artistic?
Very excellent, Mr. Dundee. There's a 4th one, apparently.
Can I move on, please?
Oh, yes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you all so much for listening. This has been Ticket Price. I'm Jake. That's Tevis.
Got Chevy Chase in it.
I don't like that. As we look at The Birdcage, unanimous, worth the ticket price. Be sure to check it out if you haven't, or if it's been way too long. Tune in next week as we look at Talk to Me. I was going to ask if you have final thoughts, but I don't.
Talk to me. That's all this.
Okay. Talk to me.
Talk to you.
Talk to you?
No, talk to me.
I am.
Okay.
Damn it, Tevis. Now I don't know what I'm saying.
What movie are we doing next?
Talk to me.
Okay.
Let us know in the comments if you have bingo, your thoughts on The Birdcage, if there's anything I need to know leading up to Talk to Me so I can properly prepare myself. Be sure to hit up the merch store. We are on Patreon if you feel so inclined to help support us in that way. Be sure to follow the show if you haven't already. Turn on notifications. Blah, 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 blah. Things. Outro. And as always, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and good night. There's too many things I'm supposed to sell at the end of these episodes. I can't remember it. I feel bad asking about it. Jewish rail car!